Fascination with fortune, afforded me mansions and Porsches. This is Mark Bell from SuperTraining.tv, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West, answering more questions today here for the Power Project, sponsored by the only strength magazine in the freaking world, thepowermagazine.com. Also sponsored by my product, the Slingshot, howmuchyoubench.net. We have two questions to get to today. One is about supplementation, and number two is about supplementation. And one is about CarbNite, and one's about getting bigger. What I want to always teach you guys, what I want to preach to the Power Project Army is those two goals are very similar in a lot of ways. The food choices that you eat will be different, but the dedication and the amount of effort that you need to apply is going to be the same. Whenever we're talking about losing body fat, we're trying to gain muscle, these are things that have to be done on an hourly basis, minute per minute, all day long until you go to sleep. And even sometimes in the middle of your sleep, you're going to have to consume some calories if you really want to be dedicated to trying to put on some size and get yourself swole. What I also want to tell you guys is that lifting heavy is a big component to all this, because lifting heavy will help put on muscle mass. Having having a stronger chest or having stronger legs and allow you to lift more weights can give you more options. It'll allow you to do more things in your training session, allow you to handle more volume. Not like you have to be a power lifter to get any of that done, but you do want to get yourself stronger. Look at some of the best bodybuilders of all time. They all had a lot of strength. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger, who people may not regard as being super strong, was very strong. And he actually started out as a weightlifter and as a power lifter. So always keep that in mind here at the Power Project, whether you're trying to look fancy and you're trying to look cute, you're trying to get on a cover of a magazine or something like that, or whether you're trying to be a big, jacked power lifter, or whether you're trying to be a football player, whatever it is you're trying to do, lift some heavy stuff. Anyway, question number one comes from Andy Pollock, and he wants to know what he should do about his post-workout nutrition with CarbNite. What I used to do is I used to take some branched-chain amino acids. I wasn't a huge fan of them. They tasted like crap. And they smell like crap. So if something doesn't smell good, if something doesn't taste good, don't eat it. Remember that the next time you're out on a date. Anyway, let's clean this message up a little bit and get back to the matter at hand. Post-workout, just consume a bunch of protein, dude. Whether you want to do it with a shake or you want to do it with food, kind of up to you. Some people say that food is better. Others say that supplements are better. I would say just do it with a shake, just because it's a lot more convenient. I myself will take in 75 to 100 grams of protein post-workout, and currently I also take in some carbohydrates as well at that time, usually the same amount, 75 to 100 grams of carbohydrates as well. But for you, you're on CarbNite. If your main goal is to lose body fat and you're still on that mission, you still have those goals, then continue on your path, my friend, and do not stray from it. Keep the carbs out of your diet except for on CarbNite. So that would be my recommendation to you. Just load up on a bunch of whey protein. Find one that you like. Isopure mixes up super thin. I've always been a fan of that, so look for that. You can buy it anywhere, pretty much GNC, whatever. Bodybuilding.com, whatever. The other question is about gaining size and getting bigger. And this guy is on pro hormones. Look out. This guy's on pro hormones and he wants to gain some weight. He's consuming a lot of protein. It seems like he's almost following a backloading type plan with kind of what he described briefly in his email. By the way, you want to email me a question, powerprojectarmy@yahoo.com. There's a back issue of Power Magazine where I interviewed Matt Krokletsky, Kraka, whatever you want to call him. Look at that article. Go to thepowermagazine.com, buy the digital subscription, and you'll get all the back issues from the last year, and the Matt Kroc issue will be in there, and he describes his diet. The tried and true way for bodybuilders to get big, to get jacked and get swole is not CarbNite, is not carb backloading. Kiefer is my boy, and I had a lot of success losing a lot of body fat on CarbNite, but the best way is just the old-fashioned way. The best way for bodybuilders to get big, jacked, and swole is to not neglect any of the macronutrients. You want to take in some carbohydrates, protein, and fats, normally with every single meal. Maybe post-workout, maybe you do consume a little bit more carbs. And maybe when you're trying to pack on some size, maybe you do have some dessert. But really, you want to keep the foods clean. Rice, potatoes, sweet potatoes, all the things that bodybuilders have been doing for years. You can go on any of these bodybuilding sites. I remember back in the day I used to go and check out a lot of stuff on the Beverly International website. They had a lot of great information on bodybuilding techniques and different diets and things like that, and I still think they do. You can check out a lot of that kind of stuff. Stan Efferding, a bodybuilder that trained, one of the strongest bodybuilders of all time, trained at Super Training Gym. He is a huge proponent of just fueling your body constantly, and to get himself bigger, he would say, hey dude, you want to get yourself bigger, you're going to have to eat a lot. And he would consume a lot of calories spaced out over 8 to 10 meals during the course of the day. So if you're only eating 4 meals, you're going to have to double your efforts, and you're going to have to start loading up. Another suggestion, which I've mentioned to many guys before, is to look into making a shake and keeping it by your bed and then consuming it sometime in the middle of the night. You can also do that with milk, whatever way you can get more calories in. Maybe start, get heavy whipping cream, start using that. Any sort of butters, peanut butter, regular butter, almond butter, cashew butter, any of that kind of stuff is going to be dense in calories. Things that are portable, I call it portable protein. You got hard-boiled eggs, you got you have nuts, almonds, cashews, those kinds of things. The more they are in their natural form, the better off you are. Avocados are pretty good. I can just unpeel an avocado and just eat it just like that. Those things are pretty delicious. Find things that work for you. Find things that you like. Fruits are always good for on the go, although they don't have protein. But it's always a decent snack on the go along with a protein shake or something like that. So, to get bigger, I wouldn't worry so much about the pro-hormones, although, that's kind of up for debate whether they're effective or not. I don't really know. I never really tried them. But what I would say is that it's going to come through your diet. It's not going to come through supplementation. It's not even going to come from anything even such as like performance enhancing or anything like that. The main thing is going to be your diet. Your diet's going to play a huge factor in you gaining quality, size, and mass. So make sure that's intact. And that is it from supertraining.tv. Later.